Hi, today we will discuss how to generate priority status report. So this request was come from Wago Nashville. So for that I'm going to monitor and from there priority status, and then there is a two option. You can do either load from incident if you know specific intersection vehicle ID and the time. You can load this incident from there, but for today I will go to this one signal. So let's select Murfreesboro signal control priority corridor. You cannot analyze a group priority status. You have to select one intersection. So let's say Riley, Murfreesboro and Riley intersection. Select OK, and then let's say we are going to select 20, and the date should be it monitors only 24 hours. So I can customize the time in here. Let's say it is 5 a.m. to 11:47, or you can modify it based on your need. And also they have Centracs event log, high resolution data, and controller log. So Centracs event log means Centracs software, it can track all the events, and high resolution data means it is the current state of the controller and the signal head, like if controller send any red, yellow, green or pedestrian or other things on the current state. And controller logs means how the controller is tracking down, and if you click this arrow you will get all the information in here. So you can select and unselect from there. So for these transit signal priority, we do not need all of them. You probably need a couple of them. So those are railroad preemptions, and then we are going to select route priority for transit vehicle. These are for the emergency vehicle. We are not selecting those. These are for the transit. Okay, and you can select the high resolution data. So let's say we select high resolution data, and for the transit one we do not need all of them. So I'm unselecting some of them. Coordination cycle status change, then green, red, yellow, phase check, gap out, phase hold, phase relay to phase omit, phase on. And then in here TSP adjust early green, TSP adjust extend green, TSP check in, TSP check out. And from the controller log we are going to see all the TSP1, TSP terminated. We do not need this one. We need TSP active, TSP call inhibited, TSP received, and all the split information. and signal control priority. Okay, now you can apply or export CSV. So from here, this sign, it defines that this is high resolution data, and if you scroll down, you will see some of the Centracs data. There will be some Centracs data. So let's say let's check this one, apply, and these are the Centracs data. Source, this one. So for this specific date, we do not have controller logs somehow, and from here you can see that this is source Centracs. This is the timestamp 6 a.m. 4 minute 15 second. Murfreesboro Riley signal. Type is route priority. Transit check-in. That means transit send a signal, and they send a request with request ID is 40, and this is the road priority center to center service. Processing priority request vehicle class, that means this is the vehicle ID 1915, and they are wants to have the signal priority on phase 2, and this is the timestamp. It's 6 a.m. 4 minute 14 second a.m. They send the signal, and which captured by Centracs as 15 second 4 minute 15 second. And Centracs it's find that transit failed to issue check-in. That means probably this is transit master or something. They failed to issue check-in, and therefore the bus didn't get the signal priority and the controller didn't approve TSP signal. So for that the bus have to wait. So it wait like around 34 seconds, and on the time the transit is checked out and the request has been cancelled, and the vehicle start running again. So if this is active somehow, then there will be a controller logs in here. Controller will show that SCP signal control priority and TSP has been activated, and if there are any high resolution data, that means green extension or red termination or early green, early red, something like that, yellow, different types of information in here. So that's the priority status report, and you can also export CSV from there and you can analyze. If you want to do some timestamp from there, load from incident, you can do that. So for example, you are doing Murfreesboro, Riley, okay, and then say load incident. So it shows that let me select this date, and it shows that this is the incident. So I want to, so that's the incident, and we check that at 6:04 there was an vehicle class 1915. Let's find out 1915. So this is the 1915, and it was checking in here incident 55. Then this is the timestamp, start date and end date, and these are the other timestamp. So this is good for if you want to check for any date, any intersection, that is there any transit request or vehicle is passing, or what is the incident type number. Okay. I want to show some other situation. So this report was sent from Wigo, and they discuss about how to generate transit priority report in here, and they are saying that the priority status report is created in Centracs, and report data came from Centracs and the traffic signal controller. And that's the steps that we are taking. And they have how to read the priority status report in here, and different symbol in there. And this is a very nice one. You can explain the report based on this how to read column. Also they have some steps that you need to find. So let's see this one. This is with high resolution data. So in here, this date, this is the timestamp, SCP call received. This is the controller source, that means controller received signal control priority, and SCP number 2. So call received, and then controller with the time they activate the signal control priority, and then we can see that high resolution data. In the high resolution, the TSP is checking, that means TSP is now activated now. And then Centracs also received the data, and it shows that transit check-in, and this is the vehicle ID 2012 at this time. And then priority request issued, so it has been issued. Initial priority request with ID 53 phase 2 has been issued. And then in here, as you can see that this one, the high resolution data phase begin red circular in phase 6, phase begin red circle in phase 2. So from there you can see that the transit vehicle, it entered in the geofence when the phase 2 and 6 was in yellow. Then if there is an yellow, then there will be the next one will be the red. So it is now in the red condition. So later phase 8, it received the, in here phase 8 it received the green one, and phase 6 omit on, omit off, phase 6 phase check, and phase 8 now received yellow. So it was green, now yellow, now it is now red, phase 8. So phase 8 omit on, that means it is cancelled. And what the controller did, they shortened the phase 8 by 12 seconds, so it is split 8 reduced, and then it adds the second in with the phase 2. Now it is serving phase 1 and 6 green, and then now it is coordination cycle state transitioning, Now phase 6 volt, phase 1 yellow, now green, phase check 1, now phase 2 is now serving. So our transit was the transit signal request was sent for the phase 2. So initially it was red, initially it was green, yellow, now then it was red, and now it is now in green. That means the transit will start. So it gets TSP and just extend green. That means it takes 12 seconds and add this 12 seconds with the phase 2, and it gives early green. So TSP terminated, TSP request is finished, and TSP checkout. Then transit checkout, there is an request ID is cancelled and priority request cancelled. It's done. So that's for the let's say no high resolution data. So this is unchecked now, and then you can see only the Centracs and controller information in there. So it is showing the same thing, but in here you cannot have the information of red, yellow, green, or split, or so you can get the split information, but red, yellow, green is not showing in here. So you can see in here SCP call received activate, split to extended, split 6 extended by 42 seconds, this is split 2 23 seconds, and then terminated. So you will get this report from Wigo, and how to report this, how to make this transitional priority operation. Thank you so much.